By the way,
Yep.
Tony nominations are just shy of 1 month away.
What?
I know.
I'll put it in my Palm Pilot.
I know, that's what... Not the Palm Pilot.
Is that Betty Boop?
Yes, there are tons of shows hitting Broadway. Inquiring minds want to know who in this 6 or 7 box is going to be accepting the award for Best Fill-in-the-Blank.
Yeah, there's a lot of action going on in this.
Holy moly.
Joining us to answer is executive editor of Broadway News, Ruthie Fierberg. Welcome back to New York Living, and tell us what we just saw. What was that Brady Bunch of activity?
What you saw is a fraction of what's going on Broadway. I know. I feel like I was just here, which is always so lovely to be with you, and we are chipping away at the spring season. So,
I haven't seen this much action since Starlight Express.
Which is
Do
on
you
the west
remember
side.
that?
They were on roller skates.
Yep.
They're still on roller skates over across the pond.
It?
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
No.
Yeah, new version.
The first show I ever saw.
Okay, but that's over there. Let's talk about over here, yeah?
Let's start with the TV show that was about putting together a musical that is now actually a musical.
That is
Smash?
now actually a musical, Smash. Okay,
Holy
so
smokes.
yes, it was an NBC television series. And this is not the TV show on stage. The writers have been really clear about that. They call it the Smash multiverse. So Robin Herder, who you see on the screen right now, is playing the character that we know, Ivy Lynn. There's an actress, Caroline Bowman, who's playing Karen, but they're not competing for the role of Marilyn Monroe in the musical about Marilyn's life, Bombshell. Instead, Ivy has the role. Caroline Karen is her understudy, and it's much more about the making of a musical backstage. It's a farce, it's a comedy, it's not the melodrama that we saw. But let me tell you something about Robin Herder. Her director, Susan Stroman, who is a Tony winner for The Producers and director of this, called her in the class of Cheetah Rivera and Gwen Verdon.
Wow.
And I absolutely agree. She is the triple threat to watch. It's unbelievable. And you have comedians like Brooks Ashmanskas from The Prom, and Caroline was just in Sunset. You know, she's booked and blessed. So it's an incredible cast. And like I said, you have the mind of the producers on it.
All right, we got a lot to get to.
We do.
Boop.
You said Betty Boop.
Give me Boop.
Give you Boop. Well, Betty Boop is here on Broadway. It's the cartoon character we know in a new story. So she's living in her black and white cartoon world. She's a star of the screen, but something is missing. She doesn't know what. Maybe it's love. She takes her Grampy's invention and travels to New York City, where everything is colorful and bright. And she does fall in love. And it's all about finding your person. It's a lovely
And his name is Ben Aaron.
Oh, my God. I would leave. She's like my hall pass with my wife.
Great.
Totally. Her and Miss Piggy.
Convenient one, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Picture of Dorian Gray. What about Picture of Dorian Gray?
Dorian Gray. So I just saw this last week. Sarah Snook from
Succession.
Of course, Emmy Award winner. It's her Broadway debut, but she did this production in London where it got insane buzz, and there's a reason why. She's playing 26 characters in this one-person show. It is done with all, as you can see, like simulcasting cameras. So sometimes she's looking at us in the audience. Sometimes she's looking in the camera. Sometimes she's acting against a pre-recorded version of herself. So it's really a feat of acting. And the story is Dorian Gray is by Oscar Wilde. It was his only novel, and it's about vanity and if it's worth selling your soul for youth and revelry.
Just a wig game.
I know, just a tiny. You know what? I want to star on Broadway. It's my first thing. Let me just pick this little.
Like 74 roles in one play.
Her on-air brother is also on Broadway.
I know, it's a Succession kind of time. Kieran Culkin, obviously, of course, also a recent Oscar winner. He is on stage in the revival of Glengarry Glen Ross, which is a David Mamet play. A lot of people, I'm sure, remember Always Be Closing from Alec Baldwin's monologue of the film adaptation of that.
The brass.
The brass.
The brass danglers.
Remember the brass. And so this is the original. This is like it was a play before it was a movie. And Kieran Culkin, Bill Burr, Bob Odenkirk, they all play
this guy,
these kind of like sleazy.
All those guys.
All those guys. The whole cast.
The whole cast is amazing. Like, the thing is, the people I'm not mentioning are Michael McKean, who has like, I think 10 Broadway credits or something, and like multiple television show appearances. So you have no slouches in this cast, and they all play salesmen who are a little sleazy, trying to sell off, real estate that's not so hot to to make a living, but also to end up at the top of that leaderboard and win a Cadillac.
You know what? I love a good sleazy salesman.
Yeah, I love a good Cadillacs. This is perfect.
Hey, if they're not selling to you, it's really fun to watch, right?
Exactly. How about the new version of the Crucible?
So this isn't totally a new version of the Crucible. It's inspired by the Crucible. So it's called John Proctor is the villain. John Proctor being a character in the Crucible.
Oh, cool! It's
about a high school English class.
Interesting.
Who's reading the Crucible, and all of a sudden, all these girls in the class go, "Wait, John Proctor is not the hero here. John Proctor is the villain." It's a look at feminism. It's a look at coming of age.
She's great.
Sadie Sink is from Stranger Things.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So it's also a Stranger Things
And the
kind
whale,
of time.
right? Was she in the whale? Was in the whale?
Was she in the whale?
Was she in the
You
whale?
may be right.
Yeah, I think
You may be right. Sorry.
I may be crazy.
You definitely are.
Lastly, just in time.
Just in time. We are just in time for Just in Time because it begins previews tonight at the Circle in the Square Theater.
Are you going?
Not tonight, but I will eventually be going
fine.
because nothing can keep me away from
That's right.
Jonathan Groff. Tony Award winner for Merrily We Roll Along last year. Also the original King George from Broadway's Hamilton, so you may recognize his voice. He is playing Bobby Darin in this Bobby Darin biomusical, but it's kind of a different take on it. He's going to start the show as himself, as Jonathan, and slowly, as he learns the story of Bobby Darin, kind of become Bobby Darin. One of his co-stars is Gracie Lawrence from the band Lawrence. They're a like soul funk band, and I've never heard a voice like hers in my life. The two of them together are going to be exceptional, and it's all done in this immersive club scene in the way that Bobby Darin used to perform.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it's the director of
love him.
Alex Timbers, who's the director of Moulin Rouge. So you know he likes to
Heavy
create that
hitters,
environmental kind of space. So
Well,
it's
Ruthie,
a grand time.
thanks for joining us. Don't get too cozy
Thank
at
you,
home.
always.
You'll be back before you know it.
I can't wait.
And we encourage you to take a second mortgage out on your home so you can afford to see all these
right.
wonderful plays.
For more,
Not all of them are
Most of them.
at low prices.
Some of them.
Not
Some of
all
them. Yeah,
them.
some.
See them in preview. Right? For more information on all things Broadway, you can visit BroadwayNews.com.